Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the After Hours Gaming League. This is your host, JW Schmo from Team Raytheon. For those of you that are just joining us, we've got a match to end all matches, an iconic vision of synthesis and foxiness between EA and Raytheon. We're in game number 4. Raytheon's only win thus far has been a forfeit in game number 2, unfortunately. EA has taken both matches. Synth winning game number 1 in the TVT matchup. Icon taking game number 3 in a ZVT on Polar Night. And now game number 4 on Heavy Rain is going to decide whether Raytheon goes home with a loss or if they stay in it to get into the ace match. And so, without further ado, Heavy Rain. In the upper left-hand corner, playing for EA as the Blue Protoss is Foxwoods. And in the bottom right-hand corner, playing for Raytheon as the Red Zerg is the League of Legends master himself, Shardarky. So a little bit of background. We are in the After Hours Gaming League. It is a charity tournament where corporations send their employees to compete to win $5,000, potentially $1,000 if they are in the B League playoffs. And that money gets donated to the charity of their choice. So in this case, EA has decided to support Make-A-Wish Foundation. Make-A-Wish Foundation has been active since 1980 and has enriched the lives of children with life-threatening medical conditions through its wish-granting work. The Foundation's mission reflects the life-changing impact that a Make-A-Wish experience has on children, families, referral sources, donors, sponsors, and even entire communities. And so while this probe wanders blindly through the desert with the rain that used to exist on this map, EA supports Make-A-Wish Foundation. And on that note, Raytheon, not to be outdone by their video gaming opponent, has chosen for season number 4 to support Math Counts, the charity of choice for anyone that is counting on a win. They're now in their 31st year. Math Counts helps middle school students who love math and those who also fear math as well. It is best known for the Math Counts competition series that makes math as exciting as a school sport through a series of local and state competitions in all 50 states. Math Counts also runs the National Math Club that provides free resources and structure to any school or group that wants to have an organized math club. And recently they launched the Math Video Challenge, a free online contest that has students create their own math teaching videos. So both teams choosing wisely in their charity of choice to serve as their guidance, as their drive to claim the victory prize for season number 4. And on that note, Foxwood has laid down the shenanigans of the proxy pylon. So typically what we're going to see in this case is we're going to see multiple gateways here. We're going to see an opening that is going to allow Foxwoods to bring in fairly close units against his Zerg opponent. It does look like Shardarky has not discovered that proxy pylon yet, so well done, Foxwoods, well done. You have placed a perfectly located pylon in the middle of nowhere that no one can see, and yet it puts you close enough to do some serious damage to your Zerg opponent. Now you will notice this 2-gateway opening a little bit new for Protoss against Zerg. It allows for a large number of stalkers to get out fairly early in the beginning of the game, but it also allows the Protoss player to not have to commit to a specific gateway play. That being said, Shidarki going for a pretty standard opener and getting his natural down, getting the spawning pool down, doing a little poking with the Zerglings. Not going to be able to do anything against this force, though. These 3 Stalkers are going to be able to shut down any early Zergling pressure. So that is going to prevent Shidarki from scouting effectively in his Protoss player's base. However, he kind of knows what's going on here. He knows that there's a large number of Stalkers, and he knows that there is some level of shenanigans that he is being prevented from seeing. Now, that being said, the shenanigans are going to happen to be Foxwood is laying down a proxy Stargate. So that pylon now is being understood and being revealed right here to lay down a Stargate. And unfortunately for Foxwood, Shidarki does actually see that Stargate, so he knows. Oh, he knows. And so if Shidarki responds correctly with some level of anti-air defense, he is going to very effectively be able to shut down this attack. He is going to bring the Zerglings in. Foxwoods has the Chrono boost on the Oracle. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. Shidarki going to be bringing down the shields on that building. Going to be taking out the entire thing. The Oracle doing a little bit of damage, but no. Not going to be able to stop these Zerglings from really laying down the hurt. And at the moment, Shidarki is surviving, so not exactly the best position for Shidarki. He's got 5 Stalkers and an Oracle chasing him down. However, that Oracle has no energy left at all to do any sort of shenanigans against his Zerg opponent. Shidarki, though, going right for the kill. I don't know if Foxwoods has got enough. He's got a very effective wall here at his main, but right now Shidarki doesn't care. He's going for the kill at the natural. He is forcing a recall of that Oracle. The cancel happened, and unfortunately for Foxwood, he did a recall on those Stalkers, not bringing them back to the right location and not being able to defend that natural base that he had. Shidarki getting the speed on those Zerglings right now. And forcing Foxwood in a little bit of a precarious position, really delaying that economy, that macro. And so now Shidarki pulling a play out of the Worm playbook, going for a large number of Zerglings. However, following that up with a Roach Warren, most likely transitioning into some type of Roach play here. Does not, though, however, have an answer for this Oracle, but doesn't really need one. He's killed off the Stargate. His opponent is going for a robotics facility and a robotics base, so most likely Foxwood is going to be going for some form of Colossus play. And so really at this point, the big thing for Shidarki is he's got to make the transition into Vipers when those Colossus start to overwhelm him, which is not going to be the case for a long, at least a little while. That's going to give Shidarki time to expand, time to get his macro up. He's on 3 bases here. He will be on 3 bases shortly. Foxwood is going to be able to scout that with this Observer. However, Foxwood is extremely delayed in his natural because of that play from Shidarki. Shidarki trying to get a little bit of a scout in there. However, nothing doing. Foxwood very well positioned. Hold it off, trying to get a surround on that Stalker. Bring the shields down, however, not enough. Pulls out Foxwood a little bit, but Foxwood not taking the bait there. And so Foxwood on 2 base right now. We've got Roaches on the field, 4 of them to be specific. Looking at this now, it does look like Shidarki got the Roaches in case he needed it. That was a conservative play, and the truth of his strategy is revealed. He is going for Mutalisk Harass. Alright, so a little bit of an engagement here by Shidarki and Foxwood. Looks like Foxwood's going to try and go out there and take his 3rd, or at least push away those Zerglings. Not sure how effective it's going to be here against these Mutalisks, though. Foxwood, though, seeing the Mutalisks, this is completely eliminating Shidarki's sense of surprise. And so now Foxwood knows he's going to have to deal with Mutalisks very shortly. Only 3 of them, though, on the map. Shidarki is still supply blocked. Not exactly the best place to be, and I think he is rectifying it. No, he's not. He's completely supplied right now. Only has 2... no. Not even that. He's going to be able to build 1 Mutalisk. He needs to be getting some Overlords. It's not happening. He is almost 2,000 in minerals. He's not even... he's not even Larva Star. He's got plenty of Larva. He has over 2,000 minerals, almost 1,000 gas. Really, quite frankly, he needs to be getting... There they are. There are the Overlords being built right now. Recognizes the problem. But this is going to give Foxwood a little bit of time. He's going to get some photon cannons up. He's going to be ready. He hasn't gotten the photon cannons up at his main. And his entire army is a little bit out of position here. These Mutalisks are going to be able to do at least a little bit of damage. Foxwood not in the best position to hold this off. He's going to be moving his entire army, but that's leaving his natural open. He's going to get his Oracle picked off, it looks like. Ooh, and the Colossus just not in the right position. Photon overcharge, but Shidarki not really doing as much damage as he really should have been able to do there. Limited by the fact that he doesn't have enough Overlords on the field. And so Shidarki, though, excellent map control by the player. And Fox was doing the detection. That must have, I have to assume that's a misclick. Now we have what is it, 19 units. Trying to force a little bit of a play here by his Protoss player. Thinking he's going to get to surround. The Zerglings go in. The movement happens, but the Zerglings are caught. Trying to sneak in. And so now Shidarki using those Mutalisks, getting a little bit here into the main. Going to be able to take down a couple units there. Going to get a Photon. There's got to be a Photon. There it is. There's the Photon overcharge. And now more Zerglings for Shidarki. Really trying to go for a two-pronged attack. The Mothership Core is going down. And Shidarki really commit right now with those Zerglings if he wanted to, but he doesn't. He waits. What terror of the night do you have in store for your Protoss player? Doesn't even bother. Goes immediately for the pylon, shutting down all 3 of those gateways. And now Foxwood's a little bit out of position. The blink in. Not enough Stalkers though to really take on those Mutalisks. And that Colossus is completely useless against these Mutalisks. More Mutalisks coming in. Shidarki going full Muta on his opponent. More pylons going on. It does look like some Archons are being made. They're going to be very effective in holding off the Mutalisk attack by Shidarki. However, they are not the end-all be-all. Right now, it does look like Shidarki is going to be going for a little bit of a poke. He's going to see a blink in. He's going to see the Archons. He's going to get it out of dodge. Ooh, and going for a little bit more of a poke does take out 1 of those units. Very nice. Very nice indeed. And so more Zerglings just moving around here. Does look like he's going to go to the main. Foxwood's caught a little bit off guard. His main army not being microed the most effectively. Archon's going to the wrong location. Ooh, but they're going to be not doing too much damage. Foxwood letting his main base fall, letting the Colossus fall, letting the, I believe that was the Mothership Core that just got killed off. Was it? I think that was 2 Mothership Cores. It was indeed. Pylons going down. Foxwood is now supply blocked. And so these Mutalisks now absolutely devastating. Stalkers trying to level the playing field, but nothing doing. Too many Mutalisks, and Shidarki getting out of dodge once again, not willing to engage those Archons. Archons are a little too slow on the motion. Going to be taking some damage here from these photon cannons. The Archon giving shades. You don't want to get clustered up around that. And now Shidarki transitioning over to the Roaches. It's not looking good for Foxwood, and as a result, we get the GG, and we are going into the ace match. Ladies and gentlemen, Raytheon is able to hold on for dear life in game number 4 against EA. And so now we go into the match that will decide it all. On Yonsu, tonight, we will see the results between Raytheon and EA. This is your host, JW Schmo from Team Raytheon. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for game number 5.